My name's Uncle Yo. I'm a geek-specific stand-up comedian. If you don't know of me, you can ask your teenage daughter. And, well, so much for this being age is appropriate. So the reason I brought up a visual aid is because I took the bus down this morning from where I'm living now in New York City. For those of you who don't know, I was actually born and raised in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. So for me, we were supposed to go down to Philly, but for some reason it's easier for my hot blonde sisters to get into a bar underage than it is me showing up with Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt. So we pretty much avoided Philly as much as we could. But the reason that I bring up the chart is I took the bus down from this morning. And if you've ever had the chance, you can do Bolt Bus, Mega Bus, Greyhound Bus, whatever the Chinatown bus used to be, a van. Chairs to the top, whatever is cheapest, they go with that. Biggest problem is, if you're on a bus for more than 2 hours, your spine doesn't look like a spine anymore. This. Your spine becomes recontorted to be some weird archaic Greek letter. Omega half the time. They're horribly painful ways. But I do always get around, but because I'm an anime-specific comedian, I'm a video game-specific comedian, I can't take the normal trains, planes, and automobiles that a normal comedian has. They all have stories about airports. Mine just get me into trouble because of all the props that I ended up bringing. So I don't take the regular bus. If I have to travel anywhere, I'll take the Totoro cat bus. Yeah, I will take a 12-legged mutant-shaped bus, like a cat. Problem with taking the cat bus, one, naps frequently. Breaks down in the middle of the valley of the wind. I don't need that. Two, also, it's a local on the weekends. And then, how do you even fix the cat bus? What do you do when the cat bus springs a leak? It's heading to the beach because there's all the sand. Crap. Oh, it's doing that too. Because there's no instruction manual on how you would fix the cat bus. Lift back leg. Into tailpipe. No, thank you. Cat bus has not been neutered yet. You have to get it fixed before you get it fixed. My biggest issue with traveling is I end up doing a lot of the Doctor Who panels, going around at conventions. That's been a big science fiction hit. So I'm often traveling around, I'll find it later on, with the main tool of Doctor Who is the sonic screwdriver. It's a little stick, there's a button on it, it glows green, that's it. LaGuardia Airport, I send that through security. In my book bag, I've got my megaphone from my podcast, and dude in security at LaGuardia pulls out the sonic screwdriver. Do you know that this is full of wires and batteries? Yes! Because it's a child's toy! If you press the center button on the sonic screwdriver, it extends about an inch. Opens up like a little bit of claw. So now he's got his gun on me.
Oh boy.
No, airport guy at LaGuardia has the sonic screwdriver in one hand, gun in the other. He's ready to take out me and a Dalek at this point. He says, mine doesn't glow anymore. Because you have to... Okay, you have to press the red button on the handle. Sir, I don't press red buttons. I'm clearly pressing all of yours, dude. This is not working out. Are you a Cyberman? Please let me pass. Even worse was that little creepo had actually gotten, if you know him, he does the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series on YouTube. Banned a bunch of times. I've gotten to be really good friends with him over the last couple of years. He had actually been detained at an airport when he flew in to see the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie premiere in New York City from England. He's being detained, clearly, because something happened with his green card. So he tweets this, and suddenly all of us realize, poor kid is caught on! Shoving his ass to prison! I typically come up to conventions, because I'm the generation that grew up on Toonami. I grew up reading comic books, which means I have no idea how to be a parent. We're not even going to imagine that path. But I'm still not one of those weird hardcore fans who's going to like name my kid something from a video game. I'm going to play it safe. I'm not going to call my kid like Super Mario, Luigi. Save that for the middle name. Like Tom, Dick, and Bruce, Charles, whatever. But the middle name is good. Because nobody knows your middle name. Who knows your middle name? Your parents. Clearly they picked it out for you. Maybe your siblings. And substitute teacher whenever they call you out, just in case there are 2 Joshua Blackmans in the class. So you can always have fun with that. Sharon, I was an oops, baby McGill. Get your ass down here right now. That's where you hide it like the Vash Kenshin Center. That's where you start. I'm normally at an anime convention, which if you've never been to a convention just on Japanese animation, it's a weekend, like a 3-day weekend con of a couple hundred teenagers struggling to convince the other couple hundred teenagers that they're famous. I make buttons. I make costumes. I make it a bridge series. What do you make at cons? Money. Sit your ass down and shut up. Just go on with the show. I'm always testing. I'm always trying out. Because there's always the pressure of, am I going to get out the next CD, or I'm not even sure. I'm back in Philly. As I said, home city, basically. This was where I was born, not raised, thankfully, because I pronounce it berry. I don't have flavors like raspberry, blueberry. I got rid of that accent as soon as I could. The last time I was in Philly was about a month ago. Have you ever been to the Eastern State Penitentiary? Yeah. It's this old, dilapidated prison in the middle of Philly, which sounds redundant, but follow me on this. It revolutionized the way that they kept prisoners. Everybody had their own cells, and the creepiest part was, in our apartment in New York City, my girlfriend and I painted like this Sailor Venus hair-colored green on the bottom, like this really misty sort of blue-green and white wall. The Eastern State Penitentiary, same paint color. The same paint job. I kid you not, we have the photos of it. But the weirdest part was, you go into this room, and you realize how people spent their penitence. This is an 8 by 10 cell, high ceilings, a single, weird, up at the top window, tiny window, one beam of light. You have a solid steel toilet mounted against the wall, one bed in the middle of the room, 8.5 by 10. And I had to turn to my girlfriend and say, we gotta get out of here, because I'm this close to signing a lease. New York City, that's luxury. There was no one, because we're apartment shopping right now, and I realized the reason that Spider-Man is a New York superhero, the reason he's so good in Manhattan is he's the only one who can make use of a high ceiling apartment. Because you're going, look at all these high ceilings. I paid $700 a month for a closet. No, that's literal. During the closet, he put in a queen-size bed, because he's helping. But 12-foot tall ceilings, that'd be great if I were a gecko. Because now I can suddenly make use of this space. What about hammock? I don't even know how to work these things. And that's what will drive me crazy. They're going over there, they're doing the subtitles. I was talking with my father earlier. When you start out with anime, especially with the younger generations, we had the VHS, but we had the two options. You have the dub, in which they will take the mouth flaps over and they'll dub over in English. And the weird part about matching up with the mouth flaps, I don't really know why they're doing it, because that leads me to believe that deaf people can read. Or in One Piece case, everyone in the freaking anime can detach their bottom jaw like a snake. Half the time their reactions are just, the jaw is they're gonna trip over it eventually. Because it looks weird when they match up with the mouth flaps exactly. It sounds weird when they don't. Which leads you to believe that deaf people watching anime, it's a courtesy to them, maybe they can follow. If they can, God bless them. If they can't, we have something for them already. Subtitles. My generation, we grew up on subtitles. And the biggest lie that you will tell yourself is, you're learning Japanese by watching subtitles. That is a delusion. That's a delusion like we had a choice in the 2000 presidential election. And again in 2004. So you're watching subtitle anime, and you pick up on the basics, you know. Just enough to get you by in regular modern-day Tokyo. Hello. Goodbye. Thank you. I've never felt a power like this before. Standards. Thank you. Please. Yes. No. Not there, teacher. I'm only 15. All of you who laughed are terrible people. You're security. We try to win them out. This is the guy who hosts cosplay burlesque. Which is regular cosplay, but they're on a stage. That's why I said the first 2 years I was a prop comedian. I always had things on sticks that I was holding up. Because specifically what I wasn't used to was like younger girls coming up and saying, can I get a hug? No! Are you kidding me? I could have sired you! Or in worst case, sure. That's why I was a prop comic every picture. Look, officer, my hands are clearly in position. You have to play a little song. I've been teaching, I've been learning the songs from the other voice actors. 2 little, 3 little fangirls, 4 little fangirls, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little fangirl, 30 to 40. One officer, she's dressed like Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. Her character's at least 40. That doesn't count. Oh, hell. I keep my ass covered because half the time the fangirls are not. Hands very clearly every time in the photo. Don't even unclench them. Don't even bring them down from here. But then, of course, you end up getting the most common threat that we actually have to the nerd population. Because I do love that the anime circuit, the anime convention circuit, it's not even really about the show. It's really about the community. You have these fan liberties, you have weirdos like you have guys like that guy with the glasses, you have that guy like Little Creepo, people who are rising because they're just fans. They grew up just reading comic books, they grew up just playing video games, they grew up just creating this macrocosm of the internet that's sort of its own culture, its own mythology. In the old days, if I had to make an old joke, I used to have Dick Clark, thanks. Then I was just default John McCain. My generation, I can make an old joke and my punchline can be Gandalf the Grey. It can be Astro Boy. Old, weird cultural stuff like that. But that's what I'm always loving is seeing new circus come up all the time. And that's what Philly needs is a central con year after year. New Jersey has a ton of cons left and right. We end up either going to Zenkai Con way out west for Takoshi Con out in Pittsburgh or somewhere around here for Anime Next. Philly doesn't have its own place because it really doesn't have its own space. It doesn't smell like urine. I've always wanted more things Japanese to come over to America, which is so great to see all the cosplays, which is so great to see all the costumes coming over, all the people struggling to learn Japanese because it is a struggle. Because if you look over the letters have evolved over hundreds of years. It started as a dash, and then over the dynasties they would add on something else. So what used to mean chug eventually became, they added in a couple more symbols. Chinese does this all the time, where the symbol is the man who carries the jug to the emperor. So I'm wondering, has any high school class English, it's like 4 p.m. on a Friday just before it lets out. By the way, your weekend homework, one symbol. Never gonna read that by Sunday. It's gonna take me forever. There's a dash and a circle. I created, damn it. We just got a new puppy. My girlfriend and I, we just got a new puppy. We were walking along in New York, and puppy a little on the road. I'm like, yeah, free puppy. Sweet. Guy on the other end of the leash didn't seem to think so. Let's see how far he gets with that precious singing my dog. You just presumed I stole the dog? How do you know I didn't just slip him $20? I'm not gonna walk up to some old homeless dude bleeding out on the side of the highway and just take his dog without like checking it for rabies or something. It's not safe. I always want to see more things Japanese come over to America. Like, I want to see Godzilla attack America and not get thwarted by Matthew Broderick. Really, dude? Giant radioactive lizard drop kicks King Kong into a volcano. You lose to Ferris Bueller? Bueller? Because there's so many places for Godzilla to attack. We have so many sea lions. If Godzilla attacked any other state, you see publicity about it. What if Godzilla attacked Delaware? They'd be really happy to be in the news again. Godzilla attacked Florida. Well, you never find parking for Disney World. If he attacked Maine, Martha Stewart would just build a bigger lobster trap. Maybe Godzilla could attack the Northwest and do something about all these sparkly vampires. There's plenty of things. He's got 5 boroughs in New York alone that he could attack. If he attacked Queens, white people just jog faster. If he attacked the Bronx, Godzilla would know better than to attack the Bronx. Godzilla would not attack the Bronx. The Bronx would attack Godzilla first. That's gonna be a sushi roll by dinner time. Godzilla attacked New Jersey. Jersey's fighting back. Help Godzilla! Help Godzilla! What is the situation? The situation, Pennsylvania's getting a beach. Hey Godzilla! One of my favorite parts about Japanese culture was they used to do the old dubbed Iron Chef. Now they have, on the Food Network, Iron Chef. Here's how intense Japan is. One, you should know, they just raised their age of consent to 12, and they don't have a word for hobby. Do the math. In the middle, you get a culture so intense it makes Germany look normal. But you have Iron Chef America. Japan is so intense, they made cooking into a televised competitive sport that is more interesting to watch than, in some cases, soccer or rugby or even the Olympics or the ice capades. Because you have people, knives are going, fire is going, and you have all these eccentrics locked together in one cell. And a theme ingredient, you have an hour, cook whatever you can. Now, the American Iron Chef is fun. Lights are flashing. But this is the weird translation error charm that came from the original Japanese Iron Chef. Now, they have the announcer for American Iron Chef. They don't have the original guy from Japan. They have his nephew. In the original Japanese, this guy had gloves like Mickey Mouse. He had a cape and a bell pepper that rested on his shoulder like Count Chocula, judging these people, watching the chefs go on. Yes, cook for me. This week's loser is next week's the ingredient. Because I don't know, Masahara Morimoto is one of my favorite TV chefs. Because he doesn't do the flash, he doesn't do the flare, he's just there to cook. There's a camera on him, he's probably going to throw a cleaver at it halfway through. The dude who was Iron Chef Japan before Morimoto, this dude would grab a live squid and hold it, strangle it to death in a pot of boiling water with his bare hands. Like, why are you doing this? Because if it dies knowing fear, it tastes better! The ingredient was mango, but have fun with your squid slaughtering. That's what you're going to strangle the squid to death with that. I like the American Iron Chef, but it just lacks that spontaneity. It lacks the violence of it. It lacks the commentators who had no idea what was going on. You had the one guy who was just talking lightning fast. Well, that guy's got a spice, that guy's got a knife. And then there was always this older expert on the Iron Chef who was only being quoted as just going, yes, I see. Just to let us know, he hasn't gone blind yet. Get like this B-list actress from like daytime soap operas to just giggle stupidly and cover her mouth. I don't know, it's like her agent was behind her with a cattle prod. Giggle stupidly and cover your teeth again. Do this or it's back to dubbing hentai. Good start, good practice. The American Iron Chef, they just danger. Like for all the light, all the flash, they should just do what other Japanese game shows do. Have a wild animal roaming the set. Have a live panther roaming kitchen stadium. Whatever you kill in self-defense goes to the stadium. So you have Bobby Flay out there trying to coat something in blue corn chips. Opens up the oven, panther! Rips out the heart. All right, lasagna. We got no choice. This is what it is. And I might be the only one who thinks this, but I truly don't think that Snakes on a Plane is a movie. I think of it as more like a Japanese game show. In America, a game show is like building up to winning. The Price is Right. The new car, spin the wheel. In Japan, it's a countdown to failure and embarrassment. That's a fetish for them. Public ridicule. Because even if you win the Japanese game show, you've lost something. You've lost your damn dignity. And I just see Snakes on a Plane being much more like an extreme Japanese reality show. You've got a family who wanders onto the plane. Opens the Kawasawa, flying back from Kyoto after Grandpa's funeral. And snakes! Will they survive the flight back to Tokyo? Or will Grandpa have visitors up in heaven? Happy fun time, family, death snake plane ride. Brought to you by Korea. Their national bird is the hydrolus. My favorite show growing up of all time was always, for me, it was worth waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a season and a half dub. Because we didn't even get the full series of Sailor Moon. We just got the first season and a half. Sailor Moon is a really intense show for 13-year-old boys to watch. This is about schoolgirls in short skirts beating up monsters. First off, there's something wrong with that sentence. Second of all, how many Sailor Scouts does it take to screw a light bulb? Doesn't matter if Sailor Moon's going on with the damn bulb. That was the show that taught us stock footage works for everything. Because it wasn't just Sailor Moon would run onto the screen. Have her 2.5-minute long transformation sequence. Have her 2.5-minute long attack dance sequence leading up to the attack. It was never as simple as just punching the dude. Nope. Full dance, full sparkles, full glitter. And the whole time you're just presuming the monster of the week is going. Take your time. I'll wait. But there were always so many Sailor Scouts. It wasn't just Sailor Moon, and then you eventually got Sailor Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Pluto, Saturn, Sailor Hawk, Sailor Death Star, Sailor Krypton, Sailor Vulcan, Sailor Gallifrey, Sailor... Like, there were just too many of them against one dude. 9 girls against one guy is going to drop past with a Rick St. Torrens approval rating. It's a collapse. But what bothered me most, every single monster on the show never thought to ask, what happened to the other 300 dudes before me? There's this 15-year-old girl. Hurry us. He just goes down, nope, I'm fine, I know what I'm doing. Monster Land starts kidnapping people, collecting, draining souls, energy, whatever it is, and then the schoolgirl shows up. And what does he do? Let's do this. You're gonna transform? Be my guest.
No time, what's up? Yep, just...
Finish watching Game of Thrones by now. Finish reading Game of Thrones by now. We should have gone to the bathroom before. Hostages, does anybody want something from Starbucks? Who's gonna, if I untie you, you're gonna come back? You're gonna come back? Alright, here's a 20. Who wants what? No. You got a card? How much is left on the gift card? How much is left on your gift card? You're done? All you did was put on a bow! You could have just brought the bow with you! Who comes to a fight not dressed for the fight? I've never seen the SWAT team run up to Al Qaeda. Whose job was it to bring the guns? Can you hold off terrorists? We got fun. Jim, go get the guns. We're right with you. We were surprised when we break down. But I would watch this every morning, knowing it was going to happen and still grateful for it every time. That was the best thing. You knew it was coming, and you just didn't care. This was all you had going for you.